Gang, 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 what is up? That might have been loud, so sorry for the people who are coming back in later on in the day, but this is the live stream. It's 8:03 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast. Coffee is in me. NBA video is up. The MLB video will be up in 5-10 minutes. Yes, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Both videos are done, and a live stream is coming up. Lots to do today. I'm excited. Monday, if not my favorite day of the week, is my favorite day of the week. Sunday, I love Sundays. Love it. Mondays, love it. Starts of the week. Way to be productive. Good weather. Been blasting music since 5:30 in the morning on the speaker over here. Bose, nice speaker. Just been feeling good. Maybe we'll bing something. Felt good. I mean, woke up to some affiliate marketing stuff, which is cool. Woke up to somebody telling us, not going to say names, but they tied for first place in the NBA Showdown, $22,000. That's a pretty good thing to wake up to. I mean, for me, just nice hearing somebody did it, but pretty good for that person. That is the second person in a matter of weeks, 2 weeks, to have won first place, split it. Somebody won 50-something K, so, I mean, they got off real well, but 22K is pretty damn good for NBA. So what I'm doing here, live chat, it's 8:04 in the morning. I'm sure many of you that are watching this later in the day are probably sleeping. Unless you're working till like midnight, you should be up early. They get the worm, those early birds. But no, anyways, this is NBA, MLB, both of them I'll be talking about. Just did a video on both. I have done all the research that I can for really NBA, for a showdown slate. MLB, I have done my early morning research that I can, mainly for pitchers. There's no real Vegas totals out yet for stacking and things like that, but I've got both of them right here. We could talk about either or, doesn't matter for me. Anything that you guys want to talk about, I'm down. I know that a lot of people won't be tuning into this because it is so early, but for a matter of people watching the live stream later on, I will chat through some things as well. The video kind of speaks for itself. The kind of summed up version of the MLB video, and I could answer questions, is that Patrick Corbin is clearly a tier 5 tiers above everybody else here. The price indicates that $1,200 more than the next best pitcher or the next most expensive pitcher on the slate of Mike Minor. But there's really nothing. If you're somebody who likes to throw your darts in the 5 to 6K range, there's nothing down there. There's 4 options below 7K. They're all hot garbage. In the 7K range, there's 3 options, and for the most part, they're all hot garbage. Not guys that I want to get to with any type of conviction, especially at their price point. $8,000 is where things become interesting but risky. And usually on a slate, $8,000, you'll find 1 to 2 good pitchers that you feel confident in. On this slate for MLB, I don't find much of that. $9,000 range, sure, there's decent pitchers, but now you're telling me that you're going to pitch an $11,000 pitcher pretty much in Corbin. With a 9K guy, well, you better find your value bats, which are always out there. But this slate is very difficult to me in that regard. I feel like you're going to have to take the risk in the $7,000 to $8,000 range on these pitchers that none of them have good matchups for the most part, and the ones that do are terrible pitchers. So it's going to be a risky type of day where do you really succeed based on skill, or are you succeeding today based on your ability to guess the risky pitcher? Now, obviously, there's some stats that we can figure out to help us a little bit more, and maybe that's where you rely on those stats more so in making that decision. But it seems tough. I'll see what the lineups look like in terms of how the salaries are for stacking some bats. But right now, I'm leaning early. Patrick Corbin, by far a tier above everybody else. If you fade him, I really don't know where you find 2 more pitchers that are in good matchups that have been pitching as well as him. It doesn't get much better for Corbin. And then I really am liking Mike Soroka, who, although his ERA says he's getting lucky when you compare it to his Sierra, he doesn't give up home runs. He's going up against a team right now that just isn't going to hit home runs. They don't have a lot of power overall. Yeah, he's not going to strike out. Yeah, the team he's facing is not going to strike out, so the upside might not be there. But he's working deep into games, not getting hit hard in a good ballpark. So that was really the summation of it. We talk about some stats. We talk about some options strategy. But that's where I'm at with that. The NBA video, and again, to the one person who's in here right now, what's up, how you doing? To the NBA video, and maybe I'll do a stream later in the day as well for people to hop back in. The NBA video, it's as clear as it comes, or not really as clear, I guess you can say, because right now I kind of break down this video as if Andre Iguodala is out. And if he's in, look, there's probably a 50-50 chance, I don't know what it is, that he plays today, but I want to break it down as if he's out because that gives you guys and girls a better idea of what to do. It's a lot easier to understand what's going to happen if he's in. He plays right around 30 minutes, 28 minutes, whatever it is. You don't get a lot of minutes out of Alfonso McKinney. You don't get elevated minutes out of potentially Jonas Jerebko, things like that. If he's out, you do get those elevated minutes, I believe, out of Jerebko. You do get 30-plus minutes out of Alfonso McKinney, who played 15 minutes in the second half and closed the game out, which is very important. They had the confidence in him to stay on the court with the rest of the starters, or the other 3 main guys on Golden State and Looney. So, yeah, McKinney would get a big bump. So that's really where it's about. Damian Lillard, dealing with this injury makes him a little bit risky. My captain options, kind of in an order that I like them, would be Steph Curry, CJ McCollum, Draymond Green, Damian Lillard, and Klay Thompson. After that, I don't really have interest in anybody in captain. If you want to get cute and throw Myers Leonard in the captain spot because he's going to see elevated minutes, he's 5,400. He is a decent offensive player. Have him at 0.91 fantasy points per minute for today. Have him at 24 fantasy points. If he can just hit his ceiling, closer to 35 fantasy point game, maybe you need him there. I just don't like going there. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of the NBA on a high level for captains. And then the video will kind of break down value. So I know not a lot of people are in here right now. For the couple that are, you can ask any questions that you'd like. I will check on the MLB video to see if that bad boy is ready to go live. Excited to be doing MLB. The NBA video is already up and out there. And then it's already got a couple of comments on it, so that's cool. Yeah, we're doing a little NBA giveaway today on the NBA video. You comment. It was going to be 5, then I made it 10. Started out as 0, but comment who scores the most points, not in the 10K range in terms of your captain option. Then we're going to comment and spin a wheel for a $10 PayPal, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so this video is still uploading in terms of, okay, so it is at, let's see. It's already uploaded, but it's just kind of processing. It's at 86%. That, since I'm streaming, might take a little bit longer, but that's fine. More than fine, really. Yeah, so people are already commenting. Somebody commented Draymond Green. You cannot pick Draymond Green. He is a $10,000 player. If you're watching this, Ryan Jeffries. So yeah, that is where I'm at with that. The videos are out. Golf salaries should be coming out later on. Honestly, what is the golf tournament? Is it Charles Schwab? What is it? Lobby. I'm just looking at what golf is looking like. Hey, NHL, my Bruins are in the Stanley Cup. They're not playing tonight. They're waiting for people to come and get them. Oh, I'm just quickly looking at what this showdown slate is for hockey. Do they have any decent prize pools for hockey? 10,000 at first. That's not bad at 4,100 people. Not terrible. Not great. Golf. Is it Charles Schwab? Think so. Cool. 6 a.m. lock Thursday. Couple tournaments out. Not a ton. Salaries are not out yet. Well, we will have golf. I will break down golf later. Probably tomorrow. Maybe tonight, but probably tomorrow. Just doing a first look, looking at the field, things of that nature. But yeah, so I tried to play NBA last night. I couldn't. I messed up on MLB. I kind of talked about it in the video. Messed up in terms of just going away from what I thought all day, and then in the last 5 minutes pivoting it off of it, just because I found something else when I really didn't have as much conviction. Raz, what's up? Who do you think replaces Iggy in the starting 5? McKinney, Looney, or Bell? Most likely, it's going to be McKinney. For Iggy, it's going to be McKinney. Now, I think Bell can still start because last game they put Damian Jones in for 3 minutes. Bell started the second half. Steve Kerr was just trolling us. I think that you could realistically get Bell and McKinney starting today. But it's going to be McKinney for Iguodala. That's how the regular season was. There was a press conference after the game with Steve Kerr, and he said that's most likely where they go. McKinney closed the last game. He played 15 minutes in the second half after Iguodala got hurt. It's I'd say it's 95% going to be McKinney playing 30 minutes, or at least starting and should see 30 minutes for Iggy if he does not play. Bell, though, that's not saying Bell doesn't start. Bell can very easily start. They put Damian Jones in for 3 minutes, like I said, to troll all DFS world. But I think that Bell starting at the 5, if you're telling me that Bell is going to start at the 5 and McKinney's going to start at the 3, I think I prefer Bell there. I believe he's cheaper. He might not see more minutes, but he's going to be more productive with his minutes, especially since he's at the 5. And keep this in mind. Even if McKinney starts and plays 30 minutes today, his price in Showdown makes it hard not to slam dunk him into all of your lineups in the utility spot. But he's not a slam dunk in terms of going to hit you a ton of value. He does project out nicely around 21, 22 fantasy points for me, but his usage is going to go down a ton. McKinney's going to now be playing majority or all of his minutes right there with Steph, Klay, and Draymond. And that's not great. Those guys are going to get theirs, and that's going to take away from McKinney instead, who would be coming in with the second unit, who he really isn't productive in general. But the fact that he could play upwards of 30 minutes, yeah, that makes him it bodes a lot better for McKinney. Again, he projects out nicely. He projects out for me at 21.85 fantasy points if you give him 32 minutes. But I'm going to say with caution, he's $2,800, McKinney. So I think he is very obviously a great play in your utility spot. If Bell starts as well, I prefer him for $2,200 because I think he's just more productive. He is a more productive player, even if he doesn't see as many minutes. McKinney scares me because his usage is going to be rock zero. He's not going to have much usage with these other guys in there. So that's the only thing that scares me, but the price makes it hard to compete against. Luckily, I didn't see that at lock because I would have had Jones. Yeah, if I would have played, I would have had Jones too. I saw Leonard and Jones were playing. They were both cheap. I would have had Leonard, which would have been okay. I would have had Jones, which would have been terrible. But yeah, I wasn't playing that slate, but okay, sounds good. Yeah, no problem, Raz. Yeah, any other questions you have? I know there's not a lot of people in here, so you're the VIP treatment of questions right now. How about that? Just answering a text. What is it, 8:13? This is good. This is good. We'll do this stream for another 10 minutes or so, and video will be then up. And we'll be good to go. What's it at right now? It's got to be in the 90s. 95% up. Perfect. Lovely. Beautiful. Yeah. So that's where we're at today. We're at me not playing Showdown again tonight, most likely. Shout out to the guy who took down 22K last night. That's awesome. And then we're at me probably playing some MLB tonight. The 333 looks decent. Don't like the fact that there's 1,000+ people in it. The 444 2 days ago was 50K to first with only 300 people in it. That's incredible. The payout structure clearly sucked for everybody but first, but that's pretty good. And now you get 1,000+ for $100,000 prize pool, which is not great, but it's better than trying to compete for $100,000 with 30,000 of your closest friends. Yeah, so I mean, NBA depends on Iggy. I think it's not as obvious as people think in terms of just plugging and placing McKinney into your lineup if Iggy is out. Clearly, the minutes make it seem like it is. I just don't think he has any upside or usage there. I still have to see what I would do in that situation. If Bell starts, I love Bell a lot more. Do I go both of them? I think you can go both of them. They're both starters. You're going to see 30+ minutes. But if you're going both McKinney and Bell, if they both start today, you can fit anything else you want pretty much. But then you're going to go Steph and Draymond, which is probably fine having those four. I'm not going to say that's too much. Then you probably not getting to Clay unless you go 5-1. That could be an interesting type of lineup. You go those five with CJ McCollum in your lineup. That could be interesting. Or Damian Lillard. Yeah, I think Myers Leonard is a nice play at 5,400. He's way too cheap. There's a lot of guys you can just cross off. So even though these benches are deep, there's a lot of guys who aren't getting enough minutes you can just kind of cross off. So 21 guys I have seen minutes today. But you can really, realistically cross off Andrew Bogut. You can cross off, for me, Sean Livingston has not been productive. You can cross off Al-Farouq Aminu, not getting the minutes now. Same exact thing for a Enes Kanter. I personally am fine crossing off a Evan Turner. Harkless still viable, or you prefer Leonard? If Leonard starts, I prefer him by far. Leonard is not directly taking Harkless's minutes. And the thing that's interesting here is that Leonard took all of Kanter's minutes, right? Kanter got 8 minutes in the last game. Collins still saw 20. So Collins, for the most part, is the guy who kind of took away from Mo Harkless a little bit because you didn't have any Aminu out there. So Collins took a little bit away. You had an increased amount of minutes for a guy like Seth Curry, who now seems like he's playing these minutes even when he's stinking like he did the last game. So it's nice to see that they like him out there. That gives you a little bit more confidence. But for the most part, you had reduction in minutes for Rodney Hood. Maybe that was because of Myles Leonard. Maybe that was because of Seth Curry's minutes being a little bit more stable. But the fact that the minutes went plummeting down for Kanter and Aminu because of Leonard also, I guess, affected Harkless, who didn't have a ton of minutes, which is interesting to me to see where those minutes went. So I think Harkless's minutes, I have him at 24. I could give him a few more. I don't know where I pull those from, though. I guess I would have to just be taking minutes well off of Aminu. So do I think he's viable? I think Harkless is fine. But I think I blacked out Harkless in the NBA video today. I don't know what's up. You can see. But that's just my stand. I have to take stands somewhere. 5,400, I much, or 6,000, I much prefer Leonard for $600 savings if he's going to continue to start. What was Markless's minutes last game? We could check. All right, I guess I can check. It was popcorn. Everybody seemed to be down. Harkless was 26. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty good. He closed the game out, too. Yeah, I do still prefer Leonard. Interesting to see Leonard didn't close the game. I'm seeing this now. So Harkless checks directly in for Leonard to close the game out the last 4:17. So, yeah. Yeah, Harkless is probably fine. I think I should probably bump up his minutes, but bumping up Harkless's minutes to, 26. I got to pull from somewhere. I don't think I pulled from Leonard. Kanter is already almost done. Hood at 22, that could be a spot to pull from, but I think he gets a bump from the last game. I could pull off of Seth Curry's 26. Those seem to be consistent. I could pull off of Zach Collins' 18 and get him to 16. Yeah, that's the issue here. If I give Harkless 26, I don't know where I come up with 2 more minutes. I mean, it's very easy for me to say I give Rodney Hood 21 and Zach Collins 17 or something along those lines. That just seems odd, though, the odd number. Let's go to interesting stuff here. We can go to a 17 here and a 21 here. I hate the odd numbers, but I'm trying to make it work. Yeah, I still have Harkless blacked out just because if I'm getting to Blazers, I'm not getting to a lot of them. The Blazers I have interest in, Leonard if he starts. I have interest in him, and I have a lot of interest in CJ McCollum. That's really it in terms of my deep interest because a lot of guys just aren't getting minutes. Seth Curry stays in for me. He stays in my player pool of about 13 guys because I think the price is fair at 3,400, and now the minutes are there. He's going to be terrible most nights, but if he can get you a decent performance at that price, it's good, and the minutes allow him to have more upside in taking more shots and making them. Maybe Turner. Turner's out of the lineup for me, or out of my player pool for me. Evan Turner has been consistently, a 15-minute guy. Saw 17 in the last game, closed the game out, which was good to see. But not a guy that I have a ton of conviction in. He's a guy who has had one good playoff game so far this series. Yeah, I'm 100% on CJ. Well, here's the thing with CJ. If you're going to tell me that Damian Lillard is struggling through a rib injury and he's not 100% himself and he is also battling in a really tough defensive matchup, how am I not supposed to like more CJ McCollum for $1,200 less? He is my second favorite captain option tonight, and he could very realistically, like he has been multiple times in the playoffs, the captain needed to knock down a showdown slate. It's either Steph Curry or CJ for me. If CJ decides to go shooter here and just trigger every single thing and score 50 fantasy points like he has multiple times in these playoffs, then he's probably the captain you need at a $2,200 savings off of Steph. So for me, it is Steph Curry as my favorite captain option because he just grades out 10 plus fantasy points better than anybody else in the slate. And again, his worst performance in this series, again, only 3 games, small sample, I guess, was 49 fantasy points last game, 48.5. That's pretty good. That is CJ's ceiling. So yeah, when you're telling me who I like more, it's Steph, then CJ, then Draymond, then Damian. And Damian, who I have 4 more minutes than Steph and Draymond, is very close to Draymond for me. He has more projected fantasy points if you do it through a projection, but I have to somehow weigh in an injury there, right? So I have Damian for 45. I have Draymond for just a touch under 42 fantasy points tonight. But I have to somehow weigh in the injury, and I can't really do that except just limiting his points per minute. So putting him more so at maybe a 1.05 fantasy point per minute guy gets him grading out similarly to Draymond for me today at 41 fantasy points. But it's tough for me to see him doing that even if he is injured. So yeah. If he gets more aggressive with the boards, he's a great play. Yeah, CJ, I think, is a great play tonight. I think Damian's a great play. I think you can go ultra contrarian and put a Damian CJ lineup in. Even if Damian's injured, it does stink, but you're going to be contrarian there, and it's not like you're being contrarian by being not optimal, because I don't think that's not being optimal, having both of them in your lineup tonight in a game that is potentially their last game of the series. They should probably be gunning tonight. $8:21 in the morning. Video is uploading. Got some comments coming in. Cool. All right. Let's see what we got here. 70% for the MLB one. That bad boy's about to be up in 52 seconds, which are never right. Yeah. So that is it for MLB or NBA. I guess I broke it down as much as I can. The video's up. MLB about to be out. Very straightforward MLB video today. Hopefully I don't want to see another sweep. Yeah, the only downside with the sweeps, honestly, at this point, I can care less. We know that Golden State's going to the finals. We know that. We don't know who's going from the East. The Bucks. This is the thing that's so funny. The favorited team, the team who has the home field advantage in the best of 7, when they take their first 2 games at home, everybody writes off the other team. As they should. But they're expected to take those first 2 games. It should come down to Game 7, right? That's the game that it should come down to. You each win all your games at home. Game 7 is where it comes down to, which it has a couple of times in the playoffs, or a decent amount of times. Don't write off the team that goes down 2-0. Like, Toronto's still a good team. They played extremely well. It took them overtime and Giannis fouling out to do it yesterday, but they're still a good team. I see that series coming back 2-2. They limited Giannis great. I don't think they can continue to do that, but they did it. They did it great. Kawhi going off. He has to go off. He has to play. How many minutes did Kawhi play yesterday? That's something interesting. Is this out yet? I really thought Dame and CJ would make this competitive. Extremely disappointed. Yeah, I think it's the injury. I think it's Dame's injury, but at the same time, it's crazy. No Durant. Who was it? Paul Pierce or somebody said that they're not going to win another game or the series. Pfft. Come on now. Look at the Blazers team. I have no idea how they beat Denver. I just don't. Damian got limited. Half the game CJ wasn't playing well. Cantor had a bum shoulder. It was literally like Rodney Hood and Evan Turner in one game. That's just pathetic on Denver's part. But yeah, I mean, Damian Lillard's an elite guard. What is he? A top 3 point guard in the league? Like pure point guard, top 5? I don't know. CJ McCollum's great as a number 2, but who else do they have? It's just interesting. Is this yesterday's game? Yeah, second OT. Cool. I want to know the minutes that Kawhi played. Kawhi played 52 minutes. He played both overtimes, so he played 42 minutes in regulation. I had him at 44. I thought he'd play a little bit more. Wow, look at this. Kawhi plays the final 22 minutes, as he should. Kawhi plays the final 30 or 34 minutes in this game. God, that man had to be gassed. Shit. He went triple-dub? Did he go triple-dub? No, I don't think so. 36 points. Yeah, Kawhi's just an absolute freak. What did he have? He had 36, 9, and 5. 2 steals on a block. Yikes. This guy Norman Powell, he fouled out, right? Yeah, Norman Powell got extended run. Everybody was calling for it, 30 minutes, and he didn't even get to touch the floor in the second half or in the overtimes. Hood can give them great production while he gets going. He's probably the 3rd best players. Yeah, offensively, yeah, I'd probably agree with that offensively. Maybe not 3rd best player on the entire team. I probably don't agree with that. I think that I'm a huge Zach Collins fan. I'm surprised he's not getting more run here. I think Myers Leonard is also great. But Hood, I mean, shooting-wise, yeah, he's going to be another option. Yeah, with Nurkic out, of course, yeah. Yeah, Hood, I don't know what happened to his minutes in the last game. I don't know if they're just relying more on Seth Curry, which doesn't make much sense because he's not a great shooter. So Hood I have at 22 or 24 minutes today. Yeah, this series for me, or this game tonight for me in the showdown for the NBA, is as froggy as they come. Some of them we've been a little bit more consistent and can tell where to go. Obviously, on the high end, you can continue to tell where to go with your captains, like limited options. But it's just not a spot that I want to mess around with any of my money tonight, to be honest with you. You have a starter, a 3rd starter potentially being out tonight for the Warriors in Iggy. And if he's out, yes, McKinney probably sees extended run, but he still sucks. So a lot of people are going to overreact and play Kinney because he's going to play 30 minutes, McKinney. And yes, you probably should because he's cheap, but he's still not going to be productive with those minutes. He's not going to go out there and score you 30-plus fantasy points most likely. Like, you're happy if he gets in the 20s. And then you potentially don't know who's starting at the 5. This is going to be another roast fest for all the DFS world with Damian Jones. Is it going to be actually Jordan Bell? Will it finally be Kevon Looney? So there's some guys you can get consistency out of. The guys up top, Kevon Looney, Myers Leonard if he starts. But everybody else, you're kind of throwing darts. Is Seth Curry going to continue to see these big minutes? And even if he does, he sucks still. Are you going to get extended minutes out of a Rodney Hood today? I don't know where those minutes are really going to come from, or who you're going to pull them off of. Does Aminu and Cantor still see garbage run? So, these rotations, although should be tight, I'm really not sure where to go for consistency. Outside of Steph, Draymond, Damian, CJ, and Clay, the only guys I feel confident in consistency, if Iggy is out, would be Kevon Looney, Myers Leonard if he continues to start. That's it. Alfonso McKinney, I guess. If Jordan Bell starts him, I guess. So, yeah, it's not great. I cashed out last night. If I win big tonight, I'm going to send you some cash, my Big Ten brother. Anthony White, going to send me some cash. Jesus, what did I do to deserve that? No, but good luck. Good luck. I think it might be over, to be honest. If they lose this, the Warriors will be really confident and win the finals once again. Yeah, and KD might be coming back, and Cousins is doing basketball activities. There's a chance he comes back. Yeah, I think the Warriors are too good. I think they're too good. I think they're the only team, and it's fun because there's only 2 teams in this league, in my opinion, that can cut down a 15 or can be up by 2 and make it 15 in 4 possessions, and that's the Bucks. 3-point percentage is just insane. Giannis getting 3-point plays every time he's down the court is insane. And then the Warriors, of course. Yuck, don't talk about Cousins. Yeah, I watched a lot of Warriors games this year, and Cousins just, he's lazy. I don't know what it is. I love Cousins, but he was just never like physical. He just stand out up top, set a few screens, not try and cut to the basket, nothing. I love Cousins, but every game I watched, he just was disinterested, it seemed. Which, again, it was the regular season, so fair enough. He knew he was going to get to the playoffs. Sucks that he got injured, but he just never seemed into it, which was like not fun to watch, especially because I was owning him in fucking half of those games. MLB video is about to go live. Let's just put up this finishing touches, and then let's go make some food. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, didn't want to get hurt. I think that's fair, yeah. But I guess he is that injury prone. He just looked like he was boring to watch. And he still had great performances. Like, he wasn't sucking all the time, but he was just boring to watch. Ended up getting hurt. Yeah, right. Played timid, ended up getting hurt. I mean, it's just bad luck. MLB video is up, I believe. All right, gang. I'm peacing out on this one. Enjoy. Maybe I'll be back later for a live before lock type of deal, but peace out. Bang, bang, bang. Out.